Hello and welcome back to the finishing line, and the jumps are finally back.
Yeah.
Everybody's excited. We have a full house. Sean, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, Dave. Looking forward to it. Anything jump racing now is going to be just great. Just sit down and watch it and enjoy it.
Your horses to follow have attracted a bit of a Twitter meltdown there.
It was a good bit of spice. I went back to college and came back, and there was about fucking 50 notifications. So it was a good bit of spice that I just hadn't got the time to go through.
You tag the finish line on my phone. It's going ping, 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 ping. It's like a game of table tennis going off in my pocket.
There were some very funny comments. So the people that put in the funny comments, they were good. Tom, how you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, I got some entertainment out of Sean's funny comments today. They say there's no thing as bad press, but I think Sean's Ballyburn force to follow is pushing that quite as far as he can, and Willie the Hooley is the dark one. Some of those comments got me now. It was very entertaining for the afternoon.
The only thing dark about him is his collar. I love that one.
Oh my gosh. Andrew, how are you?
Oh, I can barely see him looking at a screen all day.
It's good to be busy.
It is busy.
Headbutting the microphone there.
Busy doing all my stuff for TalkSport, which is nice to be busy.
Good, I'm glad you're busy.
How are you?
My kidneys are a bit better. So
I swear to God, we're never getting fucking rid of you.
no, the
day and a half, he sorted them out.
the doctor's giving me a tablet that basically was the last 2 weeks here. Like, I was really struggling. I was doing my best, but my kidneys are basically on the point of failure because of the tablet. So they're just trying to kill me off slowly. But I keep coming back.
Suppositories.
I'm sure there's plenty of people in the comments, plenty of people on Twitter, a few people on Facebook, probably many people on Instagram would prefer me not to be around, but can't kill a bad thing.
He's impossible to get rid of. Trust me.
Also, some people DM me on Twitter. I'm
Twitter
rarely
friends.
on Twitter. If I'm on Twitter, it's only to annoy someone or just say something stupid and run off again.
I got a few DMs requesting you to unblock people.
Yeah, and there's people I think ask me to come on the show and all that. You're better off getting me on Instagram. I'll answer those messages. If you don't have Instagram, you're more than likely not getting a reply. It's not being rude. Twitter is a cesspit, so I spend as little time there as possible.
He's just fond of the Instagram supermodels.
See Sean's Twitter.
Should have seen this lad in his heyday when Tinder came out first. I never seen a man that super like so many pictures in my life.
Sean said it was the best when we were in Glasgow over to see Kubo. Shout out to Kubo and the Scottish lads, and another lad, Marco, was with us, and he's just doing this. Right.
Crapping his hand before chap.
And Mark says to him, you can swipe left. And he just looked at Mark and goes, all women are princesses, Mark.
That man is a legend.
No response to that, really.
Like, if he is he going to Cheltenham?
Yes.
If anyone sees us at Cheltenham November meeting, we will introduce you to the enigma that is Sean Sinan. He is a fucking gem.
This lad is top gravy.
I'll play a clip that he sent in when the news broke that Nicky got that 1.5 million to 3 million horse today. I'll play it in a minute.
But anyway, we are here to talk about Chepstow. The jumps are back. First kind of big meeting of the jumps calendar. It's always a decent enough meeting as well. Maybe with a few non-runners this year, some of the races have lost a bit of gloss to them. But still a good card over 2 days. We've 5 races to go through. We'll all give a couple of selections and hopefully a couple of winners. This meeting has been good to us over the last 2 or 3 years. We've all kind of put up a decent winner on this card. A lot of them come back year after year. I fancy 1 or 2. I'm sure the lads fancy some as well. So we'll kick on. We're going to leave the Persian War and Novices Hurdle to the very end. We know it's on Friday, but we'll come back to that. And we're going to start with the Veterans Handicap Chase, 350 on Friday. I have the betting here, and we have Goodbye Bobby 4-1, Frankie de Burley 5-1. I know, like Tom and Sean probably hate this race.
I love it.
Some of these lads are.
I think there should be more. I was on Racing Interest podcast last night, Steph and Sean, and we had a conversation about this. I think there should be more of them. Should be one at Cheltenham. The final should be at Cheltenham. Shut up, Tom. There should be at Cheltenham. Get rid of the Boodles and replace it with that.
Copperhead.
Stop talking shite now and get on with it.
Oh my God, Copperhead won a
race. You came on now earlier and you had a head on you that cut through thunder.
Copperhead won.
What happened? Let it out.
I'm just stressed. I'm nearly at the end of month end, and by the time of that month, this time of the month every month, I'm stressed. I'll have a good weekend now and get over it. Oh, it's my wedding anniversary today as well, Andrew.
Happy anniversary, Thomas.
Happy anniversary, Thomas. To get your running done.
Thank you. Yeah, I did. Shout out to the old Pimlico princess there who puts up with me still. So yeah,
I can't believe that name stuck. I'm so proud of myself.
Copperhead 11-2, Certainly Red 6s, Wayfinders 8, in Rillo 17-2, and then it's 14-1 bar.
And yes, Copperhead did win the race.
I am shocked. Sean, we will leave you take this first.
You shouldn't have started with me because I fucking hate them. But look, if the winner coming back from last year, he's a stone horse, so I'm gonna sway. I'm gonna go elsewhere, and I'm gonna go with Frankie de Burley. He's had a couple of spins throughout the summer. He's been busy, and I think this time of the year, fitness can count for a lot. And sometimes get horses to win who probably on another day if the all-war fit wouldn't get the head in front. But I seen they did get a bit of rain overnight, but I think it's supposed to be nice weather all the way up until Chepstow now. So I don't think it's going to be deep ground that you might get or expect the National Hunt season. So I'd say it might be good to soft, a little bit of soft in that, and it's not going to be too bad. And I think this lad is going to love it. He's 8 of his 10 wins have come on ground with good in the description. So as I touched on, he's definitely race fit. He's been going on the go all summer. He's only raced 13 days ago where he did get a free lead. He was out in front. I think tactics probably similar here. I'd be trying to get off the front or keep the pressure on. I think if he can keep the pressure high and anyone is lacking for fitness here, I think he'd be able to find it out. And at a price of 5-1, I think he's an okay bet.
Hey, Andrew?
I really like Wayfinder here. He is a core specialist, 4 wins, 2 seconds. You can kind of take this as a drop in grade for him from what he's been running in last season. Look, his record first time out speaks for itself as well. October 2022, he won off 2 pounds lower by 8 lengths in a novice handicap chase. In a handicap chase, not a novice. Then he went on again. Last season, he was 5-3/4 lengths behind Wacker Clan, and the Twig was second. We know the Twig went on to finish second, Shanty Glasgow in the Ultimate. He then went on to be second to Naslam off just 2 pounds higher, so he dropped down to 124 now. He was second to Naslam, beating 5 lengths off 126 over course and distance. Again, look, the rest of the season went to posh, but the freshness about him dropped down to Veterans Chase, course record, fresh record as well. I think he's a cracking bet at 8-1. I think he's an unbelievable each way bet at 8-1. I really fancy. I think he'll win.
Yeah, I don't have any strong fancy, but I'll side with the same horse as Andrew. Just his Chepstow record. He's always been impressive around Chepstow. I think he's a good each way bet as well. I don't really have much more to add. It is a bit of a drop in grade, so I give Wayfinder a chance. And he was probably a little bit bigger in the betting.
He was 14s when it opened this morning.
Yeah, so
like if you go through, like, there's a Goodbye Bobby that won this last year. He thrown it away.
No, Goodbye Bobby won because
Ayres threw it away. Like, he'll obviously probably run straight. Frankie de Burley, as Sean said, got a freebie the last time. He was fighting hard to win on the back of that. Copperhead won last time, but Jesus Christ, that was a piss poor race, and I can't see him. I wouldn't have him that short in the bet. Certainly Red is obviously a player and Rillo. The rest of them are muchness really. So I think if you go through, you get your 3 places, you have an each way bet on him. I can't see him being out top 3 at all.
Tom.
Yeah, with Andrew to a certain respect on Wayfinder. Obviously, he's got 4 wins, 2 seconds from 9 runs at Chepstow. 2 of the runs that he didn't go so well in were 2 pulls up in the Welsh National on a couple of occasions, so you can excuse him that. Becky Curtis has had a couple of horses run well recently, and he looks like he's off a good mark. So I'm going to play this race slightly differently. I'm going to back 2 in it. which is rare for me in a veterans chase. But you probably start with the race I'm most keen on. The ground's going to be okay. It's good to soften places. They're only due to 2.5 to 4 mil, so I think that'll just keep it nice ground. Frankie de Burle and Copperhead for me. You got to be taking the two of them on. Frankie de Burle has 1 win from his last 23. One last time out, but that was at Market Raisin where he's done well before, and he's gone up £4 to win a 4-runner race. Take him on all day long. Copperhead is 1 out of his last 21. He's never won fresh. Take him on as well. The one for me is Good Boy Bobby. I can't believe, as Andrew said about the prices, Wayfinder opened up 14s. Good Boy Bobby was 10s. Like, by the time I looked at this, those prices were well gone, but rightly so. Like, whoever opened up Good Boy Bobby at 10s needs sacking, basically, in Paddy Powers.
Chopped.
He's had 3 runs and he's unbeaten at the course. He won this last year. He was only off a pound higher. He was only off a pound higher now, and that was against I Wright, who I don't think there's another I Wright in this. Really good record, fresh. Interesting, he's actually got 4 wins from 4 wins and 2 seconds from 6 runs in the month of October, which I thought was quite interesting. So this is time to catch him. Nigel Twiston-Davis, 9 out of 25 in the last 14 days. Another 7 of those placed. Like, it all looks to me like an absolute smash up on Good Boy Bobby. And I'm going to play Wayfinder as well. I'm going to have a cover bet on him. And I think if you play the 2 of them, I think one of them is winning this race. A little shout out to one down the bottom there, an old favourite of mine, Diol Kerr. He's gone to Evan Williams's. He's very well handicapped. This may be either not soft enough ground for this trip or about a mile too short for him. But he's very well handicapped, and he's 25 to 1. But I won't be greedy. I'll only take 2. So Wayfinder and Good Boy Bobby.
Never thought to see the day Tom and GSI in a veterans chase.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay, on to Saturday, 2:45. The Tom Malone Bloodstock Novices Chase listed race, 2 miles, 3.5 furlongs. And to me, this is a load of slow boats that should be 3 milers, but they're running over 2 miles, 3.5 furlongs.
Who's the fastest slow boat then, David?
Who's the fastest slow boat to China?
Cuthbert Dibble.
He's definitely not the fastest one anyway.
He's the winner.
I can tell you that now.
He's the winner.
Go on.
No, go on, you go. No,
No.
you're setting yourself up. Go on, off you go.
I don't really have any
Jesus
strong
Christ.
opinion in this.
I think he's going to win this and win this quite convincingly. He's clear on ratings. He's been operating at a much higher level. Look, the ground might be a slightly worried back down the trip, but he's won over this trip before. Start of last season over course and distance, but it was a hurdle race, obviously. He won that by 12 lengths. He was third to Montmoral at the Cheltenham Festival. The Pertemps he was third in. To me, I just think he's operating at a much higher level. You have Boontown Boy, who's been operating around the summertime. You have Insurrection. Very hard horse to get a handle on. I think he should have won more than he actually has already. I'd be willing to take him on. Then you have like Resplendent Grey, who wins when he wants. Risking the Ground is one I take on. Springwell Bay, I wouldn't back any of John Jonah O'Neill's horses. And then you have Will Carver, who has a chance, but I think he's clear. He's clear on ratings. I think he's going to be clear on ability. And Nigel Twiston-Davis started off really well this season. He's operating 36% strike rate, 9 wins from the last 25 runners. I think he'll be ready to rock and roll. Go start the season. If he gets away with the ground, I think he'll be very, very hard to beat.
Yeah, it was no strong opinion, but I actually sided with John Joe's horse. So it wouldn't be like me to be backing John Joe O'Neill horses. He has had a couple of winners in the last couple of weeks, and Springwell Bay has won after a 205 days break, a 97 days break, a 217 days break. If you remember at the November meeting last year, he won when we were there at Cheltenham. So he's won off a break 3 or 4 times. I think he's a bit faster than some of the other ones in this. Whether he's good enough, I don't know, but I would chance Springwell Bay. Thomas.
Yeah, I'm stuck between the 2 of those horses, guys. Dave and Andrews. Springwell Bay, as Dave says, has won on each of his 3 seasonal reappearances. So he's got a fantastic record fresh. The John Joe team are in okay form. They've had a winner, and a few of them have run well. He was running a really big race at Aintree. I'd say he was nearly going to go and win that day in that handicap hurdle. It was a top weight of 145. I felt if he transfers that to fences, I think he's going to be fairly difficult to beat here. Cuthbert Dibble obviously bolted up over course and distance last season on his seasonal reappearance. I felt he improved all last season. He ended up third in the per temps. I think he's likely to take to chasing, and I could see him trying to make it a test off the front. Again, as with good boy Bobby, the Twiston Davis former, and Twiston Davis stable are in absolutely mighty form. So I found it very, very hard to split the two. I'd love to see what way the market opens them up if they both run, and I'd probably just back the bigger price.
Fair, Sean.
Yeah, look, I go completely different ways to you. I think it was a competitive little race, and I think the ground does put me off Cuthbert Dibble a little bit. Down to 2.5, a bit more lively. I don't know if he'd be quick enough to go and win this over 2.5. The one I fell down on was Insurrection of Nichols. I just thought he done well last season at the start, and then he went off the boil a little bit, but he finished second in a grade 2 at Sandown. We haven't seen the winner since, but the third Personal Ambition came out and won the grade 2 up at Kelso. He was then dropped back into Novice Hurdle Company, where he was beaten by Golden Ace and Lucky Place, who was a half a length behind Gidley Park and was fourth in the Coral Cup. And then he went off the boil. I was listening to the Betfair podcast, and Nichols thinks that a few of his, a bit like Nicky's, weren't great at the middle of the season last year, and they just couldn't pick up what was wrong with him. And probably short the show, because he went off the boil completely, and then he brought him back for his summer maiden just before he went off for a break, and he got back to winning ways. I'd be hopefully be able to put his best foot forward again. He was very good first time out last year, and if he's able to come back to that form, you know what Nichols is like at Chepstow. He does very well, and I think he might be in the mix. I think he has that. He's quick enough, I think, than the likes of Cuthbert Dibble or horses like that. So I wouldn't mind if they did get into a bit of a sprint down the straight.
Yeah, a few comments there said as well, Sean, same as you. Cuthbert Dibble probably wants softer ground. I actually like Cuthbert Dibble, but I don't think you'll see the best of him until he gets soft ground and 3 miles.
Say it 3 times fast.
His name or soft ground 3 miles?
No.
Cuthbert Dibble.
Oh, well played. Take it.
Well done, Dave. 320 Chepstow, the Wasdale Group Silver Trophy.
Talking about that one, though, didn't you?
It is. Load of entries in this. I'll just go through some of the ones, not all of them. Krabilly, Trichronic, Lucky Zebo, Punta Delesta, Gin Coco, Lowry's Bar.
Oh, you missed Deep Cave.
Deep Cave. Is that the horse that used to be at Henry's?
Isn't it?
Holy fuck. How the mighty have fallen. West to the Bridge, Act of Authority, Mighty Bandit.
He went to France.
Irish Hill, American Sniper, and
There's a lot of them.
a lot more. Tom, you can go first. Have any strong fancy in this? Very tough race.
I am zero used to here, I think. The one thing I'd say is I went through the past winners, and you tend to need a fairly light enough weight. I know Napa's Hill won it the year before off 11.10, but I'd say he's very, very good. He was winning that off 11.10, and he's nearly a stone higher now in handicap. So I would tick off some of the top ones until you find yourself a bit further down, and go from there. If Irish Hill has a chance, he kind of lost his way a little bit last year, but he could bounce back. If Nichols has pinpointed this and got him ready, he can definitely win a race off 125. The other one there, and I'm actually going to look at the camera now because I want to see your reactions, because I know you're going to laugh at this one. 130 might be too high in the handicap for him, but don't rule out Mighty Bandit. I don't
know what happened to that horse. I really, really don't, and he bugs me. He really bugs me.
He's identifying as a donkey now.
No,
what he done first time up was good.
Incorrect. So what happened this horse? He absolutely bolted up first time out, right? Then whatever went wrong at Leopardstown. He went off 13-8 favourite for the Christmas Grade 2 for the juveniles, right? He's then been sold for 420 grand. Everyone will take the piss out of Warren Greatchest for buying him for 420 grand. What you're forgetting is there has to be an underbidder. So someone thought he was worth 400 or 40. Well, yeah, 400. He's then got to Cheltenham, soft ground, heavy ground, and he's pulled up. They've then rushed him back to Punchestown on soft ground. He's been beaten 30 lengths, right? They've given him a little bit of time then, and they've most importantly given him a window. He's ran a nice race at Windsor, back on better ground. And then he's really kicked on from there. He's going to finish second, first, grand. He bumped out once at Newmarket. He's going to finish third then at Newbury and second, beating the neck at Windsor. He's now rated 83 on the flat. He started off running hitting a mark of 60 on the flat. He's improved. His last rating, post rating, is 88 on the flat. 130 might be a little high for him, we'll see. But I just felt, don't judge that horse on his last 2 hurdle runs. I would judge him more on his flat form. And he might just come back on a bit of better ground.
It's a solid case now, in fairness.
Yeah, Mighty Bander probably has a chance.
Chance of finishing last.
If he definitely runs, I'm going to side. I agree with Tom. A lighter weight, something under 11 stone, and it's Tom Lacey's horse, Tune in a Box.
Oh yes, that's the one. You've hit the nail on the head.
Last seen winning at the Punchestown Festival.
Rephrase it. Bolting up.
Last seen bolting up at the Punchestown Festival, and if you look deeper into that race, there's some decent enough horses for the Irish tracks that run the Irish tracks, and they'll get their wins. They're rated accordingly. Like Millstream Lady is a decent enough horse at her level. Mara Cohn is a decent enough horse at his level. Billy Lee Swagger, they were all behind that day. Another one like Glazer Wolf. You'd see them running around tracks in Ireland all year long probably, but they get their wins. They're of a fair standard. He's a light enough weight. I like Tom Lacey's horses. The jockey leaves a bit to be desired at times because he sits too long on the bridle, but it's going to be a tough race. Probably get a decent price, and I think Tune in the Box is worth a bet. Andrew?
Yeah, totally agree. You could pick him out as the winner coming around the home bend at Punchestown. It was like, as I said last night, Conor McGregor. Who the fuck is that guy coming around the bend? He duly obliged, bolted up by 8 lengths. Gone up, what is it, 15 pounds? I think he's a better horse than that still. As Tom said, look, a lightweight down here is a good thing. And I think this would be a very much an early season plan. I would be more than certain that he's going to be gun-ho ready to go for this as a big prize to start the season. And I wouldn't put anyone off backing him whatsoever. I doubt you get much of a price on him, but he's probably going to be still a betting proposition.
Very good. Sean, can you add anything to that?
Yeah, of all the races we're doing, I'd say this is probably my strongest pick of them all. Look, he's a touched on most of it, but it doesn't take a genius to figure out what was happening at the start of his career. He was dotting around and 66-1 coming nowhere. And ever since he's been dropped into handicaps, he's 4 wins from 5 runs. And as you touched on, he absolutely bolted up at Punchestown. He jumped to second last, and from that point it was over. You don't see too many horses swinging off that bend with a race over, wrapped up, and the jockey trying to do as little as possible. But unfortunately, he had a loose horse who dragged him away, and he ended up getting put up 15 pounds. I still think off the mark that he's on now, no one can actually know his ceiling to this lad, but there's got to be at least 5 to 10 pounds more in there. And I think, as you touched on, off a lightweight in here, first time up, you'd be hoping Lacey has him ready, and it's a decent little post, so hopefully he can go and get the head in front.
By a nice sire too, Jukebox Jury. Very well named by Jukebox Jury, called Tune in a Box.
Well played.
Very well named. I like it.
Here
I like
is
them kind
for
of
the
ones.
lemur.
Okay. The 4 o'clock at Chepstow, the John Ayres Memorial Handicap Chase, 2 miles, 3.5 furlongs. Again, some horses, a lot of people that follow the jumps to know in here. You've got Law, Editor, the Geese.
What?
How is Hang In There rated higher?
I don't know.
He ran off like 20 wins at one stage in the summertime.
Is he?
Who fucking knows?
He's rated higher than Gallo. And
Editor did not win a grade 2 or something.
159 is his rating. That is bananas.
Anyway, we'll move on.
Editor Gee won a grade 2 in December, and he has to give Eddergy weight. Angelo, poor bastard. They're not actually mistaking him.
Handicappers on drugs that
fucking...
day. Jetwal, he won a race at the start of the season last year, so
Say it again.
chance. Solo, so no. Il Redoto. Il Redoto's in here. Home Public, the Bang Hurt Doyle, Stephen Seagal, the King of Roy Hope, Frankie de Burley's in here again. Hidalgo Bohue, I'm sure Andrew backed him start the season last year. I think he bolted up at Cheltenham or somewhere. Erla Baraccio, Borbali, and a few other old timers and younger horses. Andrew, you can take this one first.
Eldako Bihu.
Okay, there you go.
I just said first time up last season he fell, but he bolted up then at Cheltenham the time after. He's very much hit and miss. But again, it's the whole Nigel Twist and Davis with horse are absolutely flying. He's a bit of a fucker, really. He'll either win or fall or spit the dummy out.
Any of the horses that have them same colours for Twist and Davis are all the same. They're all idiotic.
Yeah, he's an idiotic name as well. But look, he's still 5 pounds higher than when bolting up.
Mr. Chewy, that's the other fella.
He hates winning.
A fucking head case.
He loves coming second like you. Cheltenham, he won by 7 lengths. He's still 5 pounds higher than that. But look, he ran a nice race at Cheltenham in the April meeting. But again, I think this is a good drop in grade, and he's getting a nice bit of weight off the main players. I don't know what price he's going to be, but he'll be a bet in this, along with Borbali. He's another one that's either hit and miss. If he gets an easy time out in front, he could run these fellas ragged around here. Depending on what price, I probably will back both of them. Have an each way bet on 2 of them. They'd be my 2 against the field. Hidalgo Blue and Borbali.
Shifty Lad wants to know the Paul bin Waterford for the racing. You're thinking about the exchange, and then Alfie's is down the road from the exchange. Tom, anyone in this?
No, I thought this was very, very difficult as well. I was going to give a little shout out maybe to Bo Bali, like Andrew said. He's won first time out before and has won at Chepstow. But yeah, I mean, it's very difficult. He can run off his mark of 127. But yeah, no, I felt it was hard to know with some of these, like, how many of these are having a bit of a prep run? Like, is Galore going to be revved for this? Or is this a run with other meetings at Cheltenham and stuff coming up in mind and whatnot? Same with Editor to Geet. Yeah, same with Solo. Yeah, very, very hard to know what was going to be rattle fit for it. The Bang & Doyle is interested, but 137 might be high enough for him, I think. But yeah, it's a very hard race for me.
Yeah, very difficult race. Tom mentioned the one that I would side with if he turns up, and it's the Bang & Doyle. He should have won the last day at Listowel.
Yes,
he was too far back. Mikey had him way too far back. I think he's a decent enough horse. Getting in here off 10 stone 6 might help him. Travels very well.
He's a very good horse. He's my summer cliff horse.
And that's the thing. He's been running and he's fit. He's been running through the summer. Probably the last target for the year for him if he turns up. So the Bang & Doyle for me. Sean?
Yeah, look, I don't know. It's a tricky one, as you said, and I'm hoping he probably opens up a bit of a decent price. It's Home Public. He's won first time out the last 2 seasons in a row. He showed decent form to start last year as well. He won the Grade 2 at Cheltenham. I know JPR 1 came down, but he went to put the head in front there, and he ended up winning 3 races out of 6. He went a bit skew with in the middle part of the season. He lost 2, but then he came back, and I think a bit of decent ground here. As he's touched on, the ground's not going to be too bad. And off of one mark of 140, runs well fresh. I'm hoping he can be in the mix. Hopefully, he get a big price. He come back and enjoy.
Very good. On to the last one. We're back to Friday. And Friday's main race, the Persian War Novices Hurdle, a Grade 2, 2 miles, 3.5 furlongs. We'll go through all these. We've Ryan's Rocket for Fergal O'Brien, 3-1. Intense Approach, 10-3 for John McConnell. Peter Bowen, Flying Fortune, 4-1. Juventus de Brion, 6-1. Dan Skelton. Vincenzo, Sam Thomas, 10-1. Handle the Kettle, Jamie Snowden, 14s, and Bullet Hill for Ella Pickard, 50-1. Sean, You can go first.
Yeah, Jesus. This is all but a grade 2 on name. I'd say we are disappointed to see Teeshan taken out and Breaton Castle. So look, you left down to a field of well, you definitely none of these deserve to be a grade 2 winner. I wouldn't say, and one of them has to be. But I'm going to fall down on Ryan's Rocket for Fairglobe Ryan. He was, I don't know what happened first time out last year. He was very, very poor, but then he showed signs and he came back and he was second to Firstly Proud, who ran a couple of decent races throughout the season last year. He was then given a long break and he went 2 from 2 towards the end of the season. He jumps well. I'm hoping Fairglobe Ryan has him forward. As I said, he does well at the start of the season. Yeah, Paddy Brennan gone now and Johnny Burke. That's only a positive in my view. And coming
Poor
in here,
Paddy.
he's poor Paddy. He was long gone by the time he stepped aside. But I'm hoping this horse is a bit better than these. Look, it's not going to take much. I think the highest rate is like 127. So I'm hoping Ryan's Rocket can be a bit better than that and take the win in here.
I like Peter and Michael Bowen's horse, Flying Fortune. I don't know much about any of them really. Intense Approach is okay to a level. I don't think he's a super horse. But I like how Flying Fortune travels through his races. He
You always do this to me now. She
travels through her races.
That's key here as well, Dave.
She's getting some weight. She just looks like she's
uncomplicated.
Is a good bit better than the length she's winning by,
because
she travels so strongly, and there's a lot more there for her in her 3 last wins. So Flying Fortune for me. Andrew.
Yeah, I'm on the Flying Fortune bandwagon as well. She's gone up massively in the way she's at pulling 4 wins back to back. She's gone from rating of 109 to 121. As you said, the way she travels, she's uncomplicated. You can stick her in behind the pace. She's a good jumper, and she gets there to the front, and she only does what she has to do when she hits the front. I was previewing this for TalkSport earlier, and Instant Approach was favourite, and for the life of me, I couldn't get my head around how in the name of God that thing's favourite. His form is shockingly bad. He can't jump. He's a terrible jumper in anything that's half decent against him. He's ended up on his arse twice. We were at Cheltenham watching him around Wexford, and he took a mother and a father of a fall. I think he's second last or third last. He's pulled up after it. He fell again. He was second to step out. Step out went again last week, and he got absolutely hammered at Kelso. So that form is terrible. Then he had to go off 4-6 and 1-3 to win races. And his jumping is still shocking. If they go off at a clip and he's left behind, he's not going to be able to sort his feet out whatsoever. I'd be against him totally. So I think Flying Fortune is the most obvious one to go here. Race fitness, she's getting weight, she's progressing at a rate of knots. She won last time out again. She travelled well, jumped well, and put the race to bed in a matter of stride. Ryan's Rocket will be very interesting. He's ready to go. As Sean said, he put that run behind him first time out, and he was second then behind Firstly Proud, who went on to place in the grade 2s after that, and then he won his 2 races. The race at Kempton was very, very good. So I won't put anyone off Ryan's Rocket as well. Juventus de Bourbon is interesting. He ran in a race at Ascot last time out where he looked like he was going nowhere, and all of a sudden ran on to be third behind Pickrock in the waterside. If Dan Skelton can get him ready first time out, like he can, he'll be interesting as well. But one other one, Handel just on the feud side, he was second the feud, sold then to Jamie Snow, and he won first time up then for him. I think going forward in handicaps down the line, he'd be one to keep an eye on going forward. He's not good enough to win this yet. But yeah, Flying Fortune, I think she'll be very, very hard to beat. She was 8-1 when I started looking at this morning. She's at the half of the price already. I think she's going to be hard to beat.
Thomas?
Yeah, I'm not sold on either of the front two. Very, very happy to take on Ryan's Rocket. I don't think his form is great shapes at all. The horse he beat the last day was rated 112 coming into it, and then there were younger 4-year-olds filling the 2 places behind him. Take out the horse behind him at Taunton, who is now rated 121 in fairness. The rest of it is not very good. So I'm keen to take him on. He's coming off a long break as well. He's only rated 122. Intense approach, yeah, he's won his last 2 at odds on. He got beat by Step Out at Downpatrick on his start before that. Step Out got put in his place there at the weekend. So happy to take him on as well. Juventus de Bourbon or Brion even, he's the interesting one. I think he could end up being the best horse in this race. The Ascot race has worked out pretty well. He looks a slow boat to China for me. I don't think this on decent enough ground is going to be far enough for him. But I would keep an eye on how he runs. I think he could be the best horse potentially in this race long term. But the bet for me and the bet of Friday and probably the bet of the weekend is Flying Fortune. She gets a mare's allowance here. She's rated 121. So if you look at the ratings, then you add the 7 onto that, it's 128. She hasn't got to go and improve much to go and win. If something runs to 130 here, it's going to win. So if she can run to her mark and a little bit above it, a couple of pounds above it, she's gonna go very, very close. Peter and Michael Bowen in fantastic form. 4 out of their last 11 runners have been winners. She's improving all the time. I agree with what Dave says. I don't think she does a lot in front. I think when she gets to the front, she doesn't do a great deal. That's why she's not winning by much, but she's traveling like an absolute dream. The trip will be fine for her. She'll travel. She'll go on the ground. I just think there's so many positives. So you can get 4-1 now. Yeah, I'm really, really keen on her. She'll be on my nap of the weekend.
Very good. Gavin Kenny, good friend of the show, says, welcome back, lads. I say it again, Sean, this is our year. I presume he means Arsenal.
Never.
Gavin's a big Arsenal fan. Okay, Tom has already stolen my thunder and given his nap. It's Flying Fortune. Andrew?
You
nap?
stole my lightning. Flying Fortune.
Flying Fortune for Andrew. Sean? Your mic is off.
It's a solid
Good stuff. Enough for the weekend. We haven't actually covered it, but I have to throw him in because he's definitely going to be my best bet of the week on Saturday at Chepstow, and it's going to be Liardi. I think he's an absolute cracking bet in this race. He's 3 wins last season. He's went up the muscle bit. He's won. Then he's gone to Cheltenham in the buildings and being hammered off the board. He went off 9-2 that day, and he got no luck on the first. He just squeezed out, and I think he was a bit windyish. His jumping went to pot, and then he ended up coming down to the second last where he completely made a nuts of it, and Harry Cobden set back up. He's a big framed horse. You seen him, he went through Aintree, I think it was last season, in heavy ground. He's a big bull of a horse, and somewhere on his back I'm hoping he's filled out, and I think he could be a cut above all these in here, and going off top way. Harry Cobden, I'd say, be a handy enough ride. I think he takes a hell of a lot of beating.
And no real mad strong opinion from me, but I do think Wayfinder each way is a very good bet over the weekend.
Correct. You're right.
Thank you.
You're right. Get it.
Next week, what are we doing next week?
I want to say
we'll be. That's the 5th time today.
Cheltenham's not next week, is it?
No, follow me.
No, we got.
I think.
Oh look, we'll have a look.
We will be previewing.
Oh my God, what the fuck is up with you?
We will.
Limerick's on next week.
Be previewing.
What the fuck's on in Limerick?
The Munster National.
Oh yeah.
Races next week. Back every Wednesday now as we go through the jump season. Next week we'll get a little update from Tom on the Pimlico horses as well. We'll get Tom's corner going next week again. I know he's going out to see some of them there in Henry's on Saturday, I think. Is that right, Tom? Saturday. Yeah. So we get an update.
You were just breaking up there, Dave. But yeah, in Henry's on Saturday, and Antonin Dvorak may run on Saturday as well at Chelmsford. We'll have a look at that tomorrow.
Do you know what's next
week?
Week?
Getting the chopper from Henry's across to Chelmsford.
Champions Day is next week.
Champions Day next week, so maybe there won't be much jumping, but we'll come up with some sort of show anyway. So we're still here next Wednesday, whatever happens.
Henry de Bromhead Stable Tour.
No. We think of something.
Could happen, Sean. It was spoken about. Yeah, no, that's what's on my mind. I've anniversary dinner booked on Saturday, so if I go to Chelmsford, I can't do that. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
Chopper.
I'm sure there's a nice few restaurants around Chelmsford.
Helicopter.
I can
Get
make
the
it.
helicopter in.
Chelmsford was only 20 minutes.
Imagine that, lads. Helicopter pulling into the middle of Chelmsford. Who's this guy coming in and Tom
There's
steps out of a
JP.
helicopter?
No, that's
I'd
talking
pay
to people
any
about
money for a
this.
video of that. I'd pay any money.
Landing in the fucking front garden in Camp
Imagine a helicopter lands in Camp Maud thinks she's going off somewhere tropical, somewhere lovely, and it fucking lands in the middle of Chelmsford.
Tom has the sunglasses on, fully decked out, ready to go.
Fucking walking cane swinging as he's going.
Oh, stop. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Please do the usual: like, subscribe, comment below the video your best bet for the weekend. If you are having a bet, do it responsibly. Best of luck. I hope you get some winners. Have a great week and enjoy the jumps being back.